Hey guys, welcome to Becoming Soulful Couple. My name is Vimla Rani, mother of two lovely daughters, wife of a wonderful husband, corporate trainer turned relationship coach, title winner of Mrs. Superwoman 2019 Bangalore. And now I'm interested in helping 1 million marriages be very happy and very successful. You have been watching this channel, and we are interviewing a lot of people who are willing to help marriages to be happy, and especially the 21st marriage landscape has been changed, and we have a lot of challenges because both the husband and wife are being very professionally ambitious, and so we have a lot of challenges, especially the challenge in expressing love. Husbands are unable to express their love to their wife because of their busy schedule, and wife who are very very ambitious are also unable to express their love in a way that is um, in such a way that people are happy. Both of them are good people. Both a husband and a wife are very good people in a marriage, but when it comes to being very ambitious, unlike conventional marriage where women spends a lot of time in taking care of the husband, taking care of the family, taking care of the children, in modern marriage, though everything is being done, there is less time in expressing their love, and there's a lot of misunderstanding, and so many marriages break, or there are many unhappy marriages. So we are inviting a lot of people to share their secret mantra of balancing both professional dreams and happy marriages. So today I'm going to invite a very special guest on our interview, and she's a very very powerful person, and she has she is running business, and she is also managing her family. I would like to start the session with a very good quote, and the quote is, "Hi Ashika, are you there, Ashika? You can come on the screen." So I would like to start this. Hi Ashika, how are you? You muted. You have muted your mic. Please unmute it.
Thanks for getting me here, Vimla.
Nice to have you on my show.
Thanks.
So Ashika, I'm going to start with the quote. Okay, I would like, just now I bumped on this quote, and I would like to start with this quote. Ambitious women really only have two options: a super supportive partner or no partner at all. I just bumped on this. So keep this quote in your mind, and I want to share a few thoughts before let me introduce you. And as usual, I'm going to read about Ashika for you, all of you guys. Ashika Sarkar is an entrepreneur having two businesses, an avid traveler authoring her first book, and a mom for whom her daughter is her world. Ashika started her first businesses 22 years back from an outhouse of a bungalow, and today it is a leading advertising agency that has offices in Pune, Mumbai, and Bangalore with a team of 100 plus professionals. She started her second business 3 years back, where she handholds and coaches business owners. She is a mindset business coach. She has a national award and many accolades to her credit, but her world continues to be her daughter Kushi. On one side, her goal is to be a renowned TEDx speaker and motivate millions of business owners to never give up on their dreams and businesses. On the other side, she aims to be a role model for her daughter and her husband's pride of being a daunting homemaker. Never stop is her mantra for her life, and she has a natural flair to inspire and motivate individuals and help them get charged up with high energy and enthusiasm, which are the key ingredients to success. I can vouch on the last sentence and the last paragraph because that's how I met Ashika in a breakout room in one of her business meet. And Ashika, among all the many women, Ashika, with a very short span of time, she is one of my mentors. So Ashika, please introduce yourself.
It's a very, very touchy introduction. Thank you so very much. Bless you. And it's a noble cause that you are out with, Vimla, that you are trying to motivate hundreds and thousands of women like us, to never give up on their career goals, their dreams. And it's a fantastic initiative. I really congratulate you and wish you all the very best. And I'll
Thank
do
you.
all possible things, in my purview to help you in this mission of yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ashika. My first question.
Sure.
Can you comment on the quote I read? Ambitious women really only have two options, a super supportive partner or no partner at all. How about your partner?
Ah, I am what I am because of my partner. So I beg to differ to some extent with the quote. See, how I would rather put it is that we need to complement each other. Not necessarily that at every point in time you would, have the same opinion or would have the same, what do you say, call in life. But then you need to complement each other. And first and foremost, forget the partner for some time. It is good to know what you want, what you want and why you want it. If you are clear, I think how you would go about it comes automatically your way. If at every juncture in your life you will come across options, you'll come across choices to make, decisions to make, and your life will all depend on that. There's no point blaming your partner or saying that I couldn't do it because he was not supportive or she was not supportive. Doesn't really make sense to me, at least.
So where do women fail? Why they fail to identify what they want?
Probably, our upbringing, especially the Indian women, our upbringing is keeping our family as our priority. Log kya kahenge? So we have been conditioned with these fabrics, and in this process, somewhere we forget who we are. Somewhere we end up trying to please everyone, trying to do everything for others, forgetting what we really want. And if you are not happy, you can't make the world happy, let what may come. I have so many friends, so many women who look up to me now and say that, Ashika, we really, you're so inspirational, we look up to you. But I was a career woman, but I gave up my career after I had my first child. I have a child, I have a teenager now, and it's not been an easy cakewalk at all. At every point in my career also, there were choices that I had to make, some hard choices, some that came very naturally to me. But it's only because of these choices that today I am standing here with two businesses, a happy family, and a sense of satisfaction within, that yes, I have been able to accomplish my dreams. So I think it's all about your choices. You need to know
Uh,
yourself a
but
little more.
Ashika, when women are focusing on what they want, when they're trying to figure out, and when they start working on that, they are people feel that she's selfish or her priorities are wrong. So I have come across many of my friends and some of my family members also. They don't understand what most of the women are trying to do, even. Okay, they want to put them in a box. And if something goes beyond the box, I'm not sounding like a feminist. I'm not
Absolutely.
sounding
No,
like
no,
a
yeah, no,
feminist.
you're
But I want each individual to understand that they are born for a purpose. Everybody, all of us are born for a purpose. I'm very clear with that. So we have our individual development, and then we have to contribute to our family. And after a point of time, I strongly believe that we have to contribute to the society before we die. I strongly believe in that. But how do we make people understand that this is what is my self realization? I'm working towards that.
perfect. It's it's a very nice question that you have brought out, Vimla. I come across a lot of women who have asked me these questions that, what if my in-laws won't accept it? What if my husband misunderstands me? What if I am called selfish, that I first chose my career and I neglected my family? What do I do? So I'll explain this in three examples. I might go a little longer, bear with me, but I will try and put light on this, okay? Firstly, I'll give an example of my learning from my spiritual guru, Maitreya. So, in one of his sessions, he said that 80% of the things you do in life should be for others. Okay? What dress should I wear? Whether we should go for a party or we should go for a movie? What khana should I make today? Does pink look good on me? Does blue look good on me? These things, do it to impress everybody, to keep everybody happy. Do your duties. 20% of the things in life, keep the command in your control. Now, these 20% of the things are something that are related with long-term life of yours. For example, your career. Like, for example, what kind of education you need to choose. I know women who have done PhD after they were married or after they had children. So career wise or education wise, or from what kind of relation or rapport you want to build with your children. So these kinds of things which will have a long term effect on your life, you need to keep the paintbrush in your hands. You can't give it to anybody. Maybe people will not like your decision. Maybe people will feel that she doesn't have a mind, she doesn't have a heart. It's okay. It's okay as far as you're confident. People will try to pull you down till the time you have not proven yourself. The moment you prove yourself, the same people, they would be your in-laws, they could be your spouse, they could be your relatives, friends, your your immediate circle. The same people will come back and say, we knew you had it in you. We knew you will make it big. They are the same people who will come and pat your back. Yeah, this is one.
Yeah.
Second example I'll give is of a client turned friend. She is an interior designer in Bombay, and she wanted to pursue her career. Gujju family, a traditional Gujarati family, and where the bahu is expected to be a homemaker, achhi bahu. So while being a achhi bahu, this bahu wanted to pursue her career. Yeah, she wanted to be a successful interior designer, and the family didn't permit her. Okay, so poor lady, slowly and sturdily, she started moving out of the house, chori chupe, and she started to take up some assignments. She started to work as an assistant to an interior designer. Told him that I don't want any salary. Let me come for half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, because she didn't wanted kind of commitment, in terms of timelines. धीरे करके she started getting her own projects. Yeah. Later she became very successful as an interior designer while managing her house. Yeah. And the same family who were so much against it, जिनके पीठ पीछे चोरी छुपे she had to do these assignments. The same guy said that now they go all praises ki hamari bahu, adarsh nari. So that's how the world is. That's how the world is. So the choices would always remain in your hands. Yeah. The third story, and that is my personal story. I started my Bangalore branch when my child was 2.5 years. Okay. And my mom was with me. So my support system was all in place. I had a full-time live-in maid. My husband is extremely supportive. But I had to leave the child. Yeah. For 2 days, I used to go from Pune. I used to fly down to Bangalore on every Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah. Every Tuesday night, I used to cry. I used to sit, I used to make her sleep, and I used to cry that, hi, mera bacha, I have to leave you for 2 days and go. What kind of a mom am I? That's self-guilt, okay? But I had to play a role as a business owner. So I had started my new branch in Bangalore. I had to take care of those responsibilities also. So I used to go. To cover up my guilt, every time I used to come from Bangalore, I used to get her a gift. Yeah, so that was my way of telling me that, okay, I'm a good mom. This ritual kept on continuing for good 2.5 years. One day when I was in Bangalore, she and her dad was watching a movie Jumbo. If you remember the elephant movie, yeah, where Akshay Kumar and Dimple Kapadia has have given their voice. So both daughter and father were watching this movie, and there is a scene apparently where the baby elephant has to leave the mama and has to go off, and the baby elephant cries. That's where this little one of mine got up. She hugged her father and she cried, "Mama," you know. And this entire incident was told, narrated word by word to me by my husband. And I was like, oh God, what kind of a mother am I, you know? And then I started getting the same typical thoughts that what would my husband be thinking? Log kya kahenge? What will my mom be thinking? What will my in-laws be thinking? So on and so forth. This thing continued. But yes, I was very sure that if I give up on my dreams, if I give up on my career, I wouldn't really be happy. I'm a workaholic. I love working. Though I tried my best to juggle as a working mom and a career woman, but still the guilt was eating me. So then my child grew up and she started getting into the comparison mode. Yeah, that XYZ's mom comes to school to pick her up. Someone's mom comes on a scooty to pick her up from the school bus. You're never there. You are just not there. I used to ensure that I go for all PTMs, I attend all her school functions, etc., etc. But this complaint was always there, you know, ki, Mama, you don't have time. You are working 9 in the morning till 9 in the evening. I'm with Ajji. So she was 5.5, Vimla, and those kids, you know, they really surprise us. So she went on a major complaint spree, you know, ki mama this, mama that. So I made her sit and I asked her that, Khush, I need to have a chat with you today. So she was like, okay, tell me. So she was 5.5. Make a note of this, huh? And I asked her, see, I am thinking of giving up working. I will be with you all day. So she was very happy. I said, but you remember that you'll have to let go of a lot of things. Papa, so she was like, Papa will be working. I said, of course, Papa will be working. Papa will be earning also quite well. But remember, all the frills in life that you enjoy, right? We have international holidays, we have those kinds of extravaganzas that you really like. I listed down a few things to her. You will have to let go of those things. You will continue to study in the school you are studying. You will enjoy this house. All those things are great, but those frills you will have to let go of. I said, think about it and tell me. So there's 5.5 things, huh? Just thinking, 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 and she comes back and says that, okay, Mama, you don't stop working, you continue working, but you'll work Monday to Friday. Okay, Saturday, Sunday is all mine. And trust me, Vimla, we latched onto that until very recently. Now she doesn't want me. Now she doesn't want me on Saturday, Sundays. She has her own world. But till that time, say till 2 years back, we continued that regime. Monday to Friday, she doesn't complain. Saturday, Sunday, I'm all hers. Yeah. And then there were no complaints. So, moral of the story, if I answered your question, you first need to know what you want, what will you be happy with, and there are ways out. Instead of compromising, you can adjust. And we women are blessed for multitasking. You can't imagine how many things we can do simultaneously that men cannot. And I'm not saying it as a feminist, but it's genuinely the case that we women have supernatural powers to manage multiple things. So please, that is my earnest urge to all women to not give up on your dreams, not give up on your careers. You really can manage your homes and career very well if you want to. I hope that was convincing enough.
Yeah, yeah. That part, how you handled your child is fine. How do you manage, though you have a very supportive husband? How do you manage to express your love for him with the little time you have? How do women can do that? Because most of the time, it is being thought as uh, uh, we are so busy with our own work, balancing multiple things, we fail to express that love like how a domestic wife does in terms of probably taking their clothes and keeping it in place, or serving the food on the table, whatever the conventional wife does. Usually, the very ambitious working women are unable to do that, or they lose interest in doing that. We treat everybody as adults who can take care of themselves. I treat my daughters as adults. I treat my husband as an adult. Okay, we are all functional here. We can take care of ourselves. But whereas there's a contrast with the domestic wife who does everything, minute things, and that is being taken as an expression of love. Standing next to the husband, serve food, it's an expression of love. For me, it is not expression of love. You are hungry, you eat. So, how do you define 21st century woman's expression of love for her husband when she is so busy, when she's so ambitious?
Sometimes it is a bit of a stretch, but if you love, some things happen very naturally. Okay, for example, I don't cook every day. I have a very strong support system in place. I have a cook, I have two maids who take care of. But my husband loves me to cook. He loves mere haath ka khana. Yeah. So when it comes to weekends, when it comes to some guests coming home, yeah, when it comes to occasions where I know that he would love me even standing in the kitchen and cooking, you know, he loves eating chaat. I make very good chaat. Yeah, so save puri, bale, all those things. So I won't cook every single day, but sometimes when I'm in a happy mood, or sometimes I have a little light work schedule, or some guests are coming, there's a special occasion, I'll make sure I cook. It is a saying, right? The way to man's heart is through his stomach. So I make sure that I reach his heart via his stomach for sure. Not every day, which he also understands,
So,
but I
so
do take my.
yeah, definitely. People who are going to watch your video will say that okay, so Ashika is a guest appearance in the kitchen, so that is possible. What happens to everyday people who have to do three cooking, sometimes four times? Even the evening snack has to be done, and this is one you already answered. Do you have any answer for the people who have to be in the kitchen all three times, four times, and still manage their ambition? Because
If you love doing that, please continue doing it while continuing with your work. It's all about adjustments and balancing out things. Yeah. If being in the kitchen keeps you away from work, and you love work more than being in the kitchen, you need to find a way out. But if you think that being in the kitchen is something which is very accomplishing for you, it is something that brings you the utmost happiness, so be it. Then in the rest of the time, do something as far as your careers are concerned. So you need to make the choices as per what comes from deep inside you. There is no hard and fast rule. Everyone's life is different, everyone's choices are different, everyone likes and dislikes are different. So you need to figure out a solution that suits you perfectly. There's no one solution fits all.
understood. Yeah. The next question is, Ashika, till people show success in terms of money, yeah, money is success for some people at home. How women can, or anybody who has ambition, can manage to convince people that they are moving forward and they are serious about taking up something?
Uh, See, it depends from person to person again. Like for instance, I always used to say that I would work 24/7, and that's how I have worked in the initial years of my business, my first business. So I always used to say that I would be 40, the typical dialogue, ki I'll be 40 and I'll retire and I'll enjoy my life, I'll earn a lot. I had a very difficult childhood. Yeah, I've been working since the age of 12. You won't believe, I've been working since the age of 12 to support the family. Yeah. So when I was at the peak of my career, when I reached the peak of my career, I was just to say I'll retire at 40. But I started my second business at the age of 42. Yeah. But the second business was not for money. I was a successful business owner at when the business was 21 years old. I started the second business with the pure vision that I want to help other business owners to not give up. So it is not only money that drives you, but there are different stages in your life that there is a different drive. Yeah. So the driving force rather, so it depends what's your driving force, at what stage of your life you are at, and what's your driving force. If you're clear and if you can communicate very strongly, that I think that's what you need to do, if I have answered it right.
Yeah, yeah, true. And most of the time, when we chase our dream, especially women, because we have so many things to handle and juggle, we lose interest in taking care of our physical body. Because, for example, if you take me, I prefer straight away finishing the cooking and take my laptop and sit and start working on my business rather than going and doing some exercise. I keep postponing. I'm quoting an example. So, what is your take on that? How can women take care of themselves and their dreams and their home and their children and their husband?
um, Not a right person to talk to when it comes to fitness, because I have really, I've been working, and I love working. So I have put my fitness in the back seat always, and by God's grace,
Okay.
health has been good. But I'll tell you one thing. Uh, in the journey of last 25 years now of career and businesses, somewhere, yes, I'm chasing my dreams. Somewhere I'm accomplishing what I really wanted to. But on the other side, the Ashika, yeah, was somewhere getting lost. Yeah, I used to paint. Prior to my marriage, I used to paint. I had not touched canvas for good 22 years. Yeah. And there came a stage where it's in the air now, getting into meditation, mindfulness, and things like that. And yes, I started these practices because I think somewhere spirituality is needed when you climb up the life hierarchy. So spirituality was the thing. But pata nahi what happened. I one fine day, thanks to a friend of mine, Anuradha, I touched my canvas board after good 22 years. I bought paints, I bought brushes, I bought canvas, and I painted. And Vimla, I did paint for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days. Coincidentally, those 3 days for a change were free. I painted for good 5, 5, 6 hours each day. Yeah, my mind could not think of anything. It was completely in tune with my body, and what I was doing was a piece of art. It was the best meditation I could have had.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and that's when I realized how important that hobby was for me. I didn't have any hobby. Work had become my hobby. Being with my child had become the hobby. Cooking for my husband had become an hobby. Somewhere I was lost, but I found myself after good 22 years of marriage, and that, and now I make it a point. I do have my
Yeah, I
painting at
want to
my
see your
exhibit.
painting. I thought you should show us. Wow.
So
Wow.
the, this is the acrylic. So I do abstract acrylics. So after good 22 years, I found that Ashika back, which is it is really nice.
Beautiful.
Also, I am in business coaching, so I coach business owners, and you working on your business is something different. When you work on somebody else's business and help them grow, the accomplishment, the kind of happiness you get is divine. So while you are, my urge to every woman around is, in spite of we being, brought up with the conditioning that we need to think of others, please, please, please think about yourself. Think about yourself, and you need to do justice to yourself, because kids are going to fly off our nest someday or the other. Yeah. And that emptiness is going to really hurt us somewhere, and we need to be prepared, right? So you need to have something that you can call your own, and you need to have that sense of pride for yourself, that I did justice to myself. So please don't give up on your dreams and your skills. Your skills are also needed for the world, to make the world a better place. Yeah. So it's not only for yourself that you should cultivate those skills and do uh, good to your career, but it's also for the world.
One last question. You sound like when I hear you and when my audience are going to listen to you, we might get a feeling that Ashika's life is super duper without any challenge and everything is smooth. All our ladies are going to feel so
It
jealous
has to.
jealous with you. So, Ashika, share one major challenge and how did you overcome that? Number one. My next question will be, what is that one advice you will give to all the married women who feel suffocated in their life for
Sure.
whatever reason it is? Two questions. One is one challenge.
I will get a little emotional when I narrate the story, the challenge part of it, but just bear with me. So this was in 2012. Okay, I am considered to be a very strong woman, a very a go-getter, a determined, a fighter, and self-made, and so on and so forth. But this incident happened in 2012 in my office, where my business head, my digital division's business head, his right hand and his left hand, and another girl from my office, they were going on a holiday to Goa, okay, from Pune. It was a Diwali holiday. This was 2nd of November, and it was Diwali holiday. And they decided to leave from Pune after the office. And while going, their car, they got drowned in a river. The car got drowned in a river, okay. Now, this lady whose right hand was this boy, the business head of the division, is emotionally shattered because this kid was considered to be my right hand, my blue-eyed boy, my hire, so to say, the next person to take over Paradigm Plus, and that is my business. Like my younger brother, literally, okay. His right hand, left hand, all the four of them get drowned with their laptops, with all the IP, no notice period, nothing. Yeah, I am completely emotionally shattered. One, because four deaths in front of me. We were looking for them for good six days. We were scouting all over Gadi Gai Kaha. We were not able to find them unless one body came, floating up in the river. So those 6 days of turmoil and then this death, I was shattered emotionally, professionally, because my business head, without any handover, overnight had gone off. And this is the time which is, people go through such times. These are unreversible times. These pains are unrepairable. I'll hold this in my heart all my life through. But this is your testing period, and you cannot give up. I was on one side battling. I used to come home, I used to hug my child, I used to cry, cry, cry. I used to have an emotional burst out. I used to go to the office, and there was a different battle altogether because the work was on. How many days the clients would hold on. So someday or the other, I have to go back to them and manage their campaigns. So on the professional side, there was a major ruckus. On personal side, I was shattered. So this is how a strong character comes out, and you would face these situations time and again, and only the you have to win every situation to only grow as a professional and a person. Life for anybody is not a easy sail, but you still have to be a winner. Huh?
Yeah.
And the second
The last question is, give some suggestion for the people, especially women who are very ambitious but feeling suffocated after marriage for some reason. There are many reasons I can quote, but
uh, as I said throughout, please do justice to yourself. If you're not happy within, you cannot be happy outside. And if you're not happy, you can't spread that happiness around. Yeah. So you need to figure out what makes you happy. What makes you happy, and you need to do what makes you happy only with the intent. That's your way of spreading happiness around. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your dreams. Be there, paint the world beautiful, and you will only be happy and spread happiness. That's my message to everybody. And everybody, love yourself first.
yeah, yeah. What do you do to love yourself on a daily basis? This painting is one expression. On a daily basis, what is your best practice?
A friend of mine, my closest friend, she always says that I remember of that lady, I forgot her name, from Jab We Met, who say that I'm my favorite. And that's the truth. I am genuinely my favorite.
Okay.
I love myself, and only there comes the energy. If you feel a little about yourself, if you feel that I'm not good enough, that is going to reflect in everything and everything that you do. So, as I said earlier, also, please love yourself. Please love yourself. Your confidence will rise, everything will go up, and it's only then you will feel happy and you will spread happiness. So,
Okay.
be blessed.
Questions are popping up. Okay. What is a marriage legacy you will pass on to your daughter?
Good question. I think I need to ask her.
You haven't given a
She has
thought to
seen
this?
it all. She has seen it all. She has seen our best of fights. She has seen the best of emotional moments. She has seen that how incomplete we are without each other. She has seen that how Papa compliments when Mama is stuck. She sees that when Papa is stuck in a major challenge, how Mama comes in and plays the strong support system. So she has seen it all. It's very difficult that I would give her one dope that this is what marriage is. But I think marriage is a basket of all emotions and all situations, and you have to be together, fight it out, love it all, and just love your life. That's about it.
What did you take from your parents? What legacy you took from your parents?
Unfortunately, I had all hard lessons taking from my parents because I had a very disturbed relationship between my parents, and I was an output because of which I had a very struggling childhood. Yeah. So the lesson that I learned, every negativity in your life also teaches you a very hard lesson. So the lesson that I learned from my parents is the child has to have both the parents be there with. I would get a little emotional, sorry, but the lesson that I took from them is that the child has to be protected, child first. So that is something that is a lesson I think I have taken.
That's the main reason I'm doing this. That is the main reason of my mission. Ultimately, is the children. No child should be born to immature parents, or no child should be born to disturbed parents. The adults should have handled their emotions, should have learned their lessons to be a parent. They should be qualified to become a parent. Probably there are a lot of ignorance. We can forgive them, but we cannot. In future, at least in Google times, in those times, okay, there are less information and less resources. But in Google times, we have all the information, so we need to take help and become qualified before getting married. That was one of my major concern, and
Certainly.
no
I
child
just
should.
add one thing to, I would like to add one thing to you, Vimla, that as I said, we are blessed with multitasking abilities, which come very naturally to us. Likewise, whether we like it or not, the entire future of our family lies in the hands of the women. And again, I'm saying it not as a feminist. If the lady of the house is educated, it reflects very strongly on the children. If the lady of the house is a career woman, I have seen the children, and I'm not talking only about my child, but I've seen the children being much more mature. They grow up much more responsible. Yeah. So I have always been under the influence of my mother's ethics and her principles, how she would treat the guests, and every guest who would come home would not go without food and stuff like that. So these are the things that I have imbibed from my mother. Likewise, what is it that my child is going to imbibe? Yeah, in terms of lot of things in terms of life. So you as a mother play a tremendously important role as far as the reflection of it on your child is. So please don't take yourself for granted and don't leave yourself to situation. Take command of your life. Yeah, and it will reflect beautifully on your children, on
Yeah,
your children.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's I
All the
want
best.
Yeah, I want to compliment you for that, Ashika, because you have confidently shared, and thanks for sharing with a lot of trust. You have shared that you are coming from a disturbed family environment, but you have grown stronger, and not a bit is visible in you, but everything is strong, and you have taken the best lessons out of the worst scenarios, and you have entirely changed the dynamics. So nobody
I think
can.
I'm blessed as far as universe is concerned. I'm universe's favorite child. That is
Me
what
too.
I always believe.
Me too. I always, yeah.
And
So,
that works. That
yeah,
confidence
yeah,
takes me
true,
places, you know.
true,
So that's what it
true.
is.
So, thank you so much for your time and sharing so much for all our women out there, and especially all ambitious wife. And one last word for all of us.
Don't give up on yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Everything else will fall in place. Don't give up on yourself.
Okay.
Thank
So,
you.
guys, love yourself. That's a message from Ashika Sarkar. Thank you so much, Ashika, for your
Thank you so
time.
much.
I love
I
you.
hope this you know gives one pointer as a goodie point to both of our mission of inspiring women, inspiring people to not give up. And I just hope all of you have a blessed life and never give up.
Yeah.
God bless.
So,
Take care.
Ashika, I'm going to share your details with my audience in the description box. So, if any of you have to contact for a very powerful business coach, you're going to contact Ashika for that. And she, as far as I know, is one genuine people. And my prayer is always this, Ashika, that I want to be surrounded by authentic people. And you're there. So, thank you so much for being here. Love you. Love you so much.
Love you all a lot, and let's create a beautiful environment around us. Stay blessed, girls.
Yeah,
All the
thank
best.
you.
Take care.
Thank you. Thank you. So, guys, that's it for today. I'm going to come again with another guest who's going to share how we can be happy both in the family and in the business, and definitely not to give up on ourselves. So, the message from me and Ashika is to love yourself, and you can pursue your dreams, and you can at the same time handle your family and be a very happy wife and a mom as well, because we women are very good at multitasking. See you again with another interview and with a brilliant person. Thank you. Bye bye, Ashika.
Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you.